We'll get there. Okay.
You can.
Okay. So thank you once again, everyone out there, for giving me this opportunity to talk a little bit about EFMD. EFMD is one of the most important accreditation organizations headquartered in Europe, in Belgium, in the heart of EU. And before I go forward, I'd like to also highlight, for the benefit of the audience, some of you may know a little bit of EFMD, so I'll quickly, for those who are new to the system or new to the processes, I'll quickly run through the fact that what EFMD stands for, what all it does, and then I can highlight a couple of things that have been recently, brought about in terms of changes. So EFMD, we firmly believe that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And more so, I think this has further strengthened our notion because of the recent pandemic, because I think with the digital transformation of the education, I think the reach has enormously evolved, and that can really bring about significant knowledge of high quality to people around the world. EFMD is acting as a bridge between the corporate world and the academic world, which is one of the most important stakeholders, because whatever we do in the academic side of the world, if it is not of corporate relevance, it is of no value. We have been doing several projects, and I'll talk more as we go around. The reason I'm going to rush through some of these is because I see in the watch that I'm starting when past when I had to start, finish. So keeping it quicker and probably, not letting you get into the fatigue of the online space. We'll try to be quick. This is what a global footprint of EFMD member base looks like, and a bulk of it, nearly half of them now come from outside of Europe when we started nearly 5 decades ago. I'll quickly highlight some of these activities. We have several networking and learning communities, which is one of the most important element of being a member of EFMD. We have, if I show you, close to about 4,000 participants who come to different events of small and large size. We also have quality services, which is basically the accreditation falls into that. International advocacy is where we work with the governments and different projects across the geography of the world. Like in Cuba, we've been working on certain projects. I'll talk about that as we go further, when we have created standards and criteria for them. In Africa, we have helped a couple of schools there. In terms of knowledge services, again, we have created several pieces of trends which are reflected through Global Focus, which is quarterly published and disseminated to over 14,000 schools globally in the business education. I'll highlight some of the professional development programs for those of you who are looking at being more closer to the global development or in the accreditation space of institution building globally. These are some of the professional development programs ranging from few weeks to few months, leading to a certification and obviously a knowledge which is immensely unique, because of the type of people who would be delivering this are veterans in the industry and have been top deans, directors, director generals, chancellors at different universities globally. This is, as I said, the next edition is, as we see, has already kicked off this October, and leading into, close to, a 5-month professional development, which is again unique, because earlier we used to deliver this entire program in about a much quicker time frame. But as it went online, I think we have also adjusted the pace, because initially Totatri mentioned that the ability for us to consume knowledge in an online space is far different than the way we used to do face-to-face. So accreditations, when we talk about, we have the EQUIS and the EFMD accreditation. These are the two most important accreditations. EQUIS is an institutional accreditation, wherein everything that is offered under the institution portfolio is accredited. EFMD accredited is a program-based accreditation, wherein we look at one program and go deep down and try to evaluate all the synergies and help them we benchmark with the best in the world. EDAF is a mentorship process, which I can talk in details going further. EOX is an online certification, the only credible organization in the world to certify all the online programs is EOX. And CLIP is a corporate accreditation, because as we work with a lot of companies globally, we also certify their learning and development processes in the accreditation space. In terms of EFMD accreditation, I mean, it certainly is a good reflection of where you are in terms of the global space, how you are trying to put forth the global agenda, and what is, I mean, that is unique to your institution. All of that can be shared and informed through the purpose of accreditation, which many people, while you may be great, may not be able to realize of it. Then we also have, if I say, the EFMD accredited, which was earlier not possible for schools which would have got an EQUES, but now they can, because for the sheer reason that, I mean, people who are EQUES goes horizontally, while EFMD accredited goes deeper into a particular program. So while you are an EQUES accredited institution, you could still highlight by saying that some of the programs that you want to highlight or are benchmark with the best in the world, the flagship programs, and those could be competing for the global rankings in that particular space. So some institutions, over 30 of them, have went through this EFMD accreditation, and they are able to now benchmark their MIM or international business program, or an MBA, or a bachelor program, or a a multidisciplinary program which has been put forth through the EFMD accredited program. And this is what it looks like. If I show you the different brands, that EFMD accredited master's and specialization program or an MBA program. But what is important to note, that this goes really deep into a particular space, and allows you to reflect very comprehensively into the entire ecosystem. This is something I would like to highlight because while one of the biggest changes that pandemic has posed, and since last year and a half, we have transformed our entire definition of what an international strategy would look like for an institution. So internationalization is beyond passport counting. It is something wherein people could look at in the perspective of sustainability, in terms of digitalization, and in terms of the impact. Impact has been around with EFMD for over a decade, and we also have a product around that called BSIS, Business School Impact System. For those of you who would like to get into the detail of that, we'll be happy to share that at a subsequent time, that how we can measure the impact of institution over 125 indicators. And we've been doing this for over a decade now. So there is a inherent expertise within our ecosystem and the knowledge that has been acquired within the EFMD space. In terms of sustainability, again, I would like to highlight that sustainability has to be reflected across your strategy, across your all the 9 chapters, so to say, be it students, be it your research in particular, be it your governance, be it your executive education, how you're bringing in changes in order to bring it and make it more sustainable, make it more global, make it more green, and oriented towards reducing the carbon footprint. So all of these measures have to be reflected through a strategy which runs around that. There has been a significant shift also in terms of the way the data is collected and the way it is reflected upon, with the digital tools being implemented at EFMD, and also an entire digital strategy which now needs to be created and reflected upon, and has to be documented by every institution which is now going forward in the direction of accreditation. We also have something called EDAF, which is a mentorship process for those who the schools who would like to be mentored by top deans directors, wherein a team would come around and help you gain and get the best knowledge and the network around you. And these are some of the global footprints on the EDAF side. We have EOX, which I just mentioned. It's a fully online certification process, and everything from start to end is the beauty is that there is an online team which comes around and works with you online and help you and relate to what is happening around the world, the best learning management system, the best tools, and how the product has been able to advance further and make a greater impact. We have, this is the global footprint of what EOX certification looks like as on date. We have CLIP, as I mentioned, wherein we have engaged with a lot of global Fortune 500. We have organizations like Capgemini, Microsoft, Alstom, Ariba, Schneider, several such organizations which have been CLIP certified, reflecting the fact that how important it is for their strategy to look at the global perspective, to look at the global benchmark put forth by other industry players. So while we compete on one space, we also collaborate across organizations to look at this aspect of quality. In terms of EFMD corporate services, we also offer several strategic learning programs, knowledge dissemination, and forums through which we try to bring academia and corporate world together. One of the great examples is Higher Ed, which I'll talk about towards the latter part of the presentation. These are some of the projects, and I would like to highlight another project as a consequence of this, that European Union, whenever they want to go global, they work together with the EFMD as one of their channel partners. And we have put forth an institution called SEABS in Shanghai. For those of you who may know, it's a great school. And this is a close cooperation of Government of China, EFMD, and a few of the corporate partners, which has brought together this very fine institution. We publish Global Focus every quarterly. As I mentioned, we also have very strong case awards wherein we recognize some of the finest cases from around the world, and several from the Asia are recognized and rewarded on this global platform every year. We have a doctoral conference and doctoral awards, which you can also benefit from. This was the previous doctoral conference that we did, and it has been going on ever since very successfully. Higher Ed is a platform that has been created as a result of our close cooperation with the industry, and there are more than 200 companies today listed on this, which are offering opportunities of contract and internships and full-time engagement for the graduates of our member schools. So this is a great opportunity and doesn't cost extra. However, it's a service to both the academic world and to the corporate partners that we have around, who are both able to exercise the good talent on one side and a good place to work with. So EFMD, all in all, what I'm trying to say is an organization which is holistic. It is beyond accreditation. It is a strong advocate of impact. It is one of the leaders in the market space for sustainability and ethics, sustainability, and it has always been at the forefront of the research when it comes to technology. And EOX that I just talked about earlier has been one of the results which we started even before the pandemic back in 2014-15, I would say, which led to creation of an online certification. So this is what a global footprint of different activities of EFMD looks like. And I look forward to see you in Japan in the next conference. And we also have other activities ranging from different quality assurance service, which is the accreditation services. And then we also have career services. We have bachelor conferences and several other things. So thank you once again. And I look forward to see you all. And if there are any questions, I'd like to address them now. I hope I was within the time frame, Tathatri. Thank you.
Yeah, you were within the time frame, but overall we have delayed ourselves, I guess. I mean, it just happened that we are definitely very much behind time. We have two more speakers that will be the special ones, session that we are introducing this time.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's going to be there. So yeah, if there is any question, you can take it for maybe a minute or two.
I believe people do feel a little exhausted with a lot of
Must be
content
already.
flowing in. Yeah.
I understand that, but it's 2 hours. We restricted it to 2 hours, but still, I think it's still even further you to reduce.
But anyhow, I mean, as I said, it was great to have this opportunity. And if there are any questions, feel free to post them out to us going forward. You are able to find me on the website. Otherwise, nishit.jain@efmdglobal.org. I'll put it in the chat box